So we are so glad you're here. It's awesome to see you all, like yay. We are a motley crew of musicians here tonight. We are. Trudy Holland is a well-known vocalist and has been singing and composing professionally for 40-some years. Jonah is a professional rock and roll star who plays with different bands throughout Pittsburgh. Me, my piano gift is set on the shelf for 53 years. I am clearly a musical mutt. Yes, I am. I'll play anything that has a good tune and a good rhythm to it. Heidi Van Doren, my daughter, our drummer tonight. She came out of the womb playing rhythms on countertops, tables, chairs, arms, the hood, dash, and steering wheel of the car. As you will see, she is a natural. Remember all that, Jan? Yeah. We have had fun blending all of these styles and varied abilities, and we hope you will enjoy our music and find it uplifting. Trudy, Jonah, and I are all dedicated path workers who have received years of advanced training. Heidi, along with her sister Michelle, read and critique my lectures and my workshops. And Michelle designed the first website and designs the programs like she designed the one for you this evening. So thank you, Heidi and Michelle, both, for always having my back and being an awesome help. We will present roughly an hour of music, a half an hour or so for some pathwork teachings sprinkled throughout, a half an hour to enjoy coffee and homemade cookies. The coffee is made by Joanne Brickley. And for those of you who would like to learn more about the path, Julie Travel, where are you, Julie? Stand up, Julie. She was the point person for this event, handled all of the logistics. And she will have a resource table set up downstairs for those of you who would like to learn more about pathwork. So, the overreaching theme tonight will be love. Not milquetoast love, but rigorous love. We will perform music on 4 themes: love for creation, romantic love, love for self and others, and love for our brokenness. Rumi writes, "The subject tonight is love, and for tomorrow night as well." As a matter of fact, I know of no better topic for us to discuss until we die happily. So let's begin with some of the fundamental themes of the path that you will hear running throughout this evening. We path workers look for every opportunity to bring our message of truth and rigorous compassion to others, especially now at a time of such great discord, animosity, and misunderstanding among us that is hurting everyone's hearts. The precious truth is this: we limited human beings struggle to survive and make ourselves viable, workable, and lovable. The problem is this: we are operating with a huge handicap, and I bet you didn't know that. We do not have access to most of our gifts and our resources. We came onto the planet with a pure birthright of amazing seeds of infinite intelligence, talent, love, wisdom, true power. But all of this infinite potential was plopped down as a baby bundle upon the earth plane that is run by human beings who were seriously limited, who themselves did not have access to their own amazing resources. Most importantly, they didn't have their access to their capacity to love. They couldn't love well. They themselves had been plucked down into the world run by human beings who were not able to love well. We all are disconnected from our greatest resources, which we will talk about tonight. History has repeated itself over and over again across the millennium. We arrive on the plane as innocents, trusting, fully expressed, ready to give and receive full-out love, and then we got whacked. We got shocked by human beings who themselves had gotten whacked and shocked. So when we got shocked, we became cut off from that natural, beautiful, loving, goodness, wisdom, truth that is inside of us. And we had to find some substitute. We had to go on. So we began the full development of what we call a personality, mind, ego self, which from now on this evening, I will call it the little self. The little self who is not able adequately to love. It can't love itself, and it can't love others. In place of what it had lost, it got cut off from its inner riches. We all did. So in order to take care of itself, it came helplessly, at best, self-centered and selfish. And some of the worst among us, those whose traumas of shock were greatest and chronic, became mentally ill and morally corrupt or criminals. And we all suffer mental health issues of anxiety, depression, PTSD, addiction, other human symptoms. Anybody in here not face some one of those symptoms? No, we all do. But astonishingly, that instinctual love that is deep within us did not get broken or damaged. It is all alive and well, waiting within us, waiting to be rediscovered and brought back into our individual lives, our relationships, and onto the planet. Here's the key. When we broke from that instinctual gift, that instinctual giveness, this is very interesting to me. At that point, every single one of us concluded wrongly that there is something wrong with me, I'm unworthy, I'm not lovable, and the rest of our lives we get spent trying to hide that false, nonetheless painful belief and try to prove to the world that it's not even true, even though deep down we are the ones who created the wrong belief. Would you believe that the world is run by wounded children? Any question about that? Yeah. Truly. So blessedly, little streams of that original love, thank you so much, Michelle. Little streams of that original love do find their way into being, but it's a smidgen compared to what would be available to us. And every once in a while, I'm sure you've all experienced that there's a huge personal or national emergency or crisis that's so great in its pain that it breaks through our lower selves, our little selves, and we see this amazing love pour forth into the world by the otherwise ordinary, limited men and women that we are. That's how we know it. That's how we know it's in there, Michelle. I need your help. We see it happen. 9/11, crisis. People who travel to South America, people who travel to Peru, people who travel to Africa to help. That's that love that gets broken through by the pain of life. The path does teach that there is a way through this self-centeredness. It's easy to understand and it's difficult to do. It means that we must be willing moment by moment to take a look and see ourselves and all of our tainted glory, letting go of our judgment toward ourselves. We would much prefer seeing the self-centeredness in others, right? And railing against that. Our partners, our parents, our children, our friends, the other political party, and most certainly our enemies. But we base the compassion that we could feel for each other on the fact that we were conditioned that way. We couldn't quite help it. This means that again and again we let go of that compelling need to judge and blame ourselves for our self-centeredness. The little self is a judgment machine, and we can learn not to buy into it or get on it like I say and ride it like a horse. But with rigorous compassion, say to that judgmental part, you're not in truth. When we buy into judgment, we lock into place the very thing in ourselves we would want to be healed. But when we aim for acceptance, our self-centeredness will be eased. It will loosen its grasp, and we have more space to make different, more loving choices. The life force, in other words, creation, that infinite potential that is within us, is well. It is an intelligent, energetic force that becomes available to help us when we take this deep responsibility for our little selves and get this peace and humble ourselves and ask for help. Our little selves cannot do the healing. We are a natural part.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but there is a red Honda or a GMC truck that is blocking someone's driveway on Ellsworth, so that is, if that is you, you want to move it before you get towed. Sorry.
Thank you. We must remember that we are a natural part to this creation. The portal to our authentic, loving nature is to, listen to this, say, I'm wrong. We were wrong. We were unloving and hateful. I'm sorry. Forgive me. We are at our most noble when we are able to do that. But we need help from the greater power of life that lives inside and outside of us and has an infinite intelligence and caring that our little selves do not have. When our human minds and our little selves, we are so fine, we are so limited and so restricted. We are invited to give daily attention to seeing ourselves. The little self within and the larger self mass consciousness of little selves. The work is not to look and see our consciousness, it's to see how we are not loving. We don't have to learn how to love. This is the most beautiful truth on the path. We simply have to compassionately see how we don't love and truly care about that, and make amends. And the real love that is at the root of our being can begin to flow in. Philosophers teach, and even some scientists teach, that it only takes some of us fiercely doing this work of consciousness to eventually shift the consciousness on the planet. If we don't, we are not likely to survive as a species. A few weeks ago, Denny told me that Stevie Wonder was in town, and remarkably again, his concert, by all things, praising God, saying he was given this divine gift of music by God, and even though when he was a child, his mother was told he would never amount to anything. He knew that it was not true. He had been given this gift by God, and it was up to him to use it to the full. He went on to say that he knew that this was a weird way to start a concert. Thank you, Stevie. You expect to hear God praised in religious settings, but not at a rock concert. Much of his music is actually about love. This, I call, is the spreading of your consciousness. We may be different in the name for and understanding of the divine. Tonight, I refer to it as life, life force, creation, the creator. We may belong to a political party, a different political party. We may have very different values and norms. Can you help me share? We may have different personalities. They all come from the same root. But what we all share in common is the creation, the universe. We cannot create suns, mountains, stars, rivers, oceans. These are the fruits of the Spirit of the Creator, given to us to nourish and sustain us. We, for all of human history, have looked at the same moon. Can you believe that? We have all warmed, even the cavemen, by the same sun, drunk and swum, and the same water that, while it changes forms, has always been here, has never left the planet. We breathe the same air as it circulates the planet. The consciousness of the life force has an anchor become an oak tree, a seed become a flower, a sperm and an egg became a you and me. We cannot do this. The life behind and with all these things has consciousness that was not and could not be determined by us, but by our power that is greater than we are. That infinite power lives within us, much of it tucked away, hidden under the structure of our little, Corley gets mad at me when I say this, pitiful little ego self. But it's true. We have to kind of face it. The highest aim of the work of the path is to break out of the limited trap of our little mind and to connect back up with the divine life force that we were conditioned to have behind when we broke and things and judgment that keeps out the divine force, whose help more than ever we need. Sacred life did give us free will as our birthright. We can honor the judgment, the selfishness, the materialism of our little selves, or we can aim for love and inclusiveness. That's our free will. Here's an important truth. But if we can be certain, if we choose judgment and selfishness, we are on our own, without the loving help of the life force of creation. If we choose to aim for love and peace, the Creator will pour in to help us. Let us sing a song of praise to creation. We will start things off with Stevie Wonder, Isn't She Lovely? Celebrating the most miraculous experience of creation, the birth of a child. Then Everything Must Change, sung by Nina Simone. Thank you, Janice Park. Singing of the great uncertainty of life, that the only thing we can hang on to is the rain from the clouds, the sun from the sky, and Bonnie, a hummingbird that will fly. Next, we will do Summertime, a plaintive lullaby sung by a father whose people had been deserted and banished to enslavement for craven, selfish purposes. singing to his child about hope for a better future, wrapped in the warmth and happiness of summer. Autumn leaves are sung as sung by Amy Cassidy. Autumn, a powerful symbol of transformation, marking the beginning of another time, new possibilities, another season. Last in this section, we will do Carol King's I Feel the Earth Move, fun song. Being in love can be so powerful, it's like a natural force of earth. The sky tumbling down and warm as May.